Most people don't know anything about alcoholism. The average person does. And if they know anything about what you do, they know AA. So the practical effect of that is that if you have a drink problem, someone's going to suggest AA and not have anything else to offer you, and may badger you if you're not, that you didn't go to AA or that AA didn't work for you. You know, they're not going to say, well, how about maybe naltrexone and some cognitive behavioral therapy, because nobody has heard that. So that piles on an experience to having drinking, where in addition to having the problem to deal with, you have to deal with a lot of pressure and potentially a lot of shaming, you know, from people around you that you're not doing, you know, the one and only thing that you are supposed to do. And that's not good for human health, that's not good for recovery. And all that leaning on people, you know, can have this counterproductive effect with a person to demonstrate their own autonomy and demonstrate their own humanity. They won't go even if it's going to be good for them, because they don't like being treated like they're 5 years old.
When AA was established in 1935, it entered a vacuum in the United States. Prohibition had just ended a couple of years before. There was no treatment system. There were no mutual help groups of significance.
Years ago, the field seems to have decided that AA is the best way to treat addiction. And unfortunately, because the scientific community has seemed to accept that, the general population has, and it is the de facto treatment for addiction in this country.
COVID-19 continues to affect most aspects of life, including those who rely on face-to-face interaction. Those who struggle with addiction are finding new ways to support one another while maintaining that 6-foot distance.
Before the pandemic, those struggling with addiction would meet here in a group setting at this facility. But now the support groups have gone virtual in an effort to stay connected. The road to recovery is long. So is the journey back to life before COVID-19.
The escalation once the seriousness of coronavirus was understood was fast. Amy Krentzman, an associate professor of social work at the U of M, says the field, like so many, pivoted.
Those meetings, by and large, have been shuttered, but have very quickly moved to online and telephone support group meetings.
There's so many different tools for people to use, and there's so many different ways of looking at this problem that I think we just need to move as far away as we possibly can from this fake, false notion that there's one way to do this, there's one way to get better, and if you don't follow that prescription, then you're doomed for failure.
In 28 years, I've sponsored 175 men. Only 7 have made it to the 12 steps. 1 out of 25. The rest drink. The rest, they go back out.
I think we need to broaden our net a little bit to help other people.
SMART Recovery, Self-Management and Recovery Training, is a nonprofit organization which helps people gain independence from any type of addiction. The goal is to manage the problem myself rather than completely and forever turning it over to a higher power.
At this point, I attend a program called SMART Recovery, and it's based on cognitive behavioral psychology, and it kind of gets to the roots of why someone chooses to drink. I'm in SMART Recovery Online. I really love the safety of that. After my AA experience, I didn't want to go to any meetings of any organization.
The plan is that you develop your life to such an extent that you no longer need a recovery plan, you just have a life plan.
SOS stands for Secular Organizations for Sobriety, or Save Ourselves, or SOS. I started SOS out of my own pain and frustration from having attended and stopped attending Alcoholics Anonymous. Hello, I'm writing to inquire if there are any meetings in the San Diego area. I'm required to attend self-help meetings, am an atheist, and cannot bear the thought of having to attend an AA meeting.
As I recovered, as I fixed biochemical imbalances, as I began to get more mental clarity, as I got more fit, as I built my self-efficacy, I learned that I could trust my mind more than ever after addiction. And that doesn't mean that I became omniscient or that I always made the best choices. But when I didn't make good choices, or if I was wrong about something, at least I would be clear-minded enough to correct course a bit more quickly. So I think it's important for people to know that you should vision cast for yourself. If a life beyond alcohol or addiction is something that you decide you want. and also to know that it is something that you have the capacity to do. And if you feel like you can't do it right now because you're in the midst of an alcohol binge or a drug binge or whatever, do know that with biochemical repair, which is what you and I both recommend as the first focal point for trying to overcome addiction, with biochemical repair, you will absolutely get back to a state of mental clarity. And for those who might not know, biochemical repair refers to targeted supplementation and diet changes and lifestyle changes to try to get rid of the toxins that you might have in your body from, especially from alcohol, the most toxic drug there is probably, and also to allow all of the systems in your body to start functioning properly, most notably the brain.